Batman is one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. Ever since first appearing in Detective Comics number 27 in 1939, the Caped Crusader had been featured in a cult classic television show, beloved animated series, and several critically acclaimed movies, as well as continuing to appear in comic books for 7 decades. One thing that The Dark Knight has never been able to do, however, is make a successful transition to video games. From the second Batman Arkham Asylum was announced, gamers hoped that this would be the ultimate Batman game, but many had reservations given the Bat's history in the medium. Adding to the hesitation was the fact that a virtually unknown studio, Rocksteady, was handling development duties. Now that the game is out, there is no doubt that Arkham Asylum was in more than capable hands. Simply put, it is the Batman game that fans have been waiting for. Arkham Asylum, as you might expect, brings Bats to Arkham Island, where he is assisting Gotham Police alongside Commissioner Gordon to re-imprison the Joker at the asylum. However, it soon turns out to be an elaborate trap planned by the Joker and carried out with the assistance of his main squeeze and punching bag, Harley Quinn. Television and comic writer Paul Dini penned the original plot, which was not based on any film or TV adaptation, instead drawing from the Knight's rich comic history. Once again, Dini has crafted a compelling Batman narrative, finally delivering a video game story worthy of The Dark Knight.
I will break you, Batman! Then the Bruja!
No, Bane. This time I break you!
Oh, fools, eh? Get down there now!
In Arkham Asylum, Joker has employed an army of inmate thugs to do his dirty work, and they will constantly stand in Batman's path as he tries to stop Joker and the other big-name baddies. There are 2 ways to go about defeating them, depending on the situation: hand-to-hand combat, or carefully maneuvered stealth attacks. When it comes to unarmed enemies, Batman can easily take out a whole room with the game's combat system. Though Arkham Asylum's fighting can seem at first like simple button mashing, it is actually a bit more complicated. Striking, dodging, stunning, and counterattacks are all mapped to face buttons, and pointing Batman in the direction of the next foe will make him attack in that direction. There is a combo system involved, and the higher the combo, the more experience you will achieve. Armed foes, however, are a different story. Taking down those enemies requires patience and stealth. Batman had plenty of tools available at his disposal to accomplish this task. Hiding behind corners, sneaking up behind a clueless enemy, and taking down enemies with a glide kick are just a few ways Batman can stealthily knock his opponents unconscious. Experience earned in fights and from solving the Riddler's puzzles can be used to unlock both offensive and defensive upgrades for Batman. Almost every tool he has can be advanced, with more improvements becoming available throughout the course of the game. These upgrades, known in the game as Wayne Tech, make gaining experience critical, which is a driving factor to get those high combo scores. A significant amount of time in Arkham Asylum will be spent in Detective Mode, another high-tech tool at Batman's disposal. Detective Mode gives everything a bluish tint and allows Batman to spot threats from a distance, tell if enemies are armed or unarmed, and makes finding hidden items a bit easier. While Detective Mode is definitely a cool feature, the fact that you have to spend the majority of the game in it means that you won't get to fully take in each environment. Removing Detective Mode puts you at a disadvantage, particularly indoors, since you never know when a group of heavily armed thugs might be right around the corner. It's a small complaint, but I do wish it wasn't quite so necessary at all times. One of my favorite things about Arkham Asylum is the use of non-traditional boss fights. Batman is extremely skilled in combat, but he's also smart enough to know not to engage directly with an enemy 3 times his size. Every scuffle with a major villain is different and specific to that particular bad guy, which keeps the game from ever getting stale. After finishing the story, you may want to try out the challenge rooms. Challenge rooms will put your skills to the test as you try to get the highest score or the fastest time clearing out a room full of thugs. The leaderboards add an element of competition to the challenge rooms, and all of your upgrades from the campaign will carry over. These challenges greatly extend the life of Arkham Asylum once the 10 to 15 hour storyline is completed, and you will want to try to improve upon your own scores over and over again. I would have liked if Arkham Asylum had a New Game Plus mode in which you could play through the entire game with all of your earned upgrades. That being said, even without New Game Plus, I'm already looking forward to my second playthrough.
Stand back, fool, I've got a bomb! Huh? Alright.
Assisting in bringing the heroes and villains of Arkham Asylum to life is an impressive cast of voice actors. Though all the major players are voiced well, the real standouts are Kevin Conroy as Batman, Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn, and Mark Hamill as the Joker. These are the same actors that provided voices for those roles in Batman the Animated Series, and the game was definitely better with their talents. For many people, Mark Hamill is the unequivocal voice of the Joker, and I couldn't imagine anyone else handling Harley's squeaky tones. In addition to the impressive cast of characters, Arkham Island itself stands out as an interactive environment. Every location looks and feels wonderful, as much a living, breathing part of the game as anything else. You will be driven to find every little reference to Batman's history, especially since the Riddler will provide you with hundreds of puzzles to solve and hidden items to find. Between the detailed environments and wonderful character designs, the presentation of Arkham Asylum is pretty impressive. The unlockable character bios are a great touch and help to educate gamers on Batman's history, menus are sensibly laid out and easy to navigate, and maps of the entire island and interior locations make it easy to find your next objective. I would have liked to have some sort of mini-map on screen, so I didn't have to go into the menu every time I got turned around or distracted by an unexpected scuffle. Though the game looks great, I did notice some graphical hiccups, most notably clipping. Batman's cape went through more than one enemy, though it did not happen often. Overall, there's very little to complain about, and even the few missteps are easily forgiven since the rest of the game is so good. In the weeks before its release, Batman Arkham Asylum was being hailed as not only the greatest Batman game of all time, but one of the best games based on a pre-existing franchise ever made. While I was wary about buying into the hype, I can now report that both of these things are true. Arkham Asylum is a phenomenal achievement, and I can't wait to see what Rocksteady has in store next. Personally, I'm hoping for a sequel set in Gotham City. Arkham Asylum is the kind of game you can't stop playing, yet don't ever want to end. I was almost ashamed to have to review it because I really wanted to take my time and enjoy every inch of Arkham Island. It is a cinematic gaming experience that finally does the Cape Crusader justice, and other developers should take note of the correct way to handle a beloved character. Finally, The Dark Knight was done right. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the full text review on Gamervision.com.